Hi guys, I'm Anissa and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for another tag video because I was tagged by Riley from Fig Fact to do the TBR tag, and so I'm gonna do that. This tag has 13 different questions, so let's just jump right into the tag. Question number 1, how do you keep track of your TBR pile? First of all, I have all of my books that I have not yet read wrapped in wrapping paper that I own. Except the newer ones, I haven't wrapped them up yet, so yeah. But I always know which books I have, because even though my GoodReads TBR shelf is outrageously large, I think I have 2,000 something books on my GoodReads TBR. It's bad. I do have different shelves with all of the books that I have on my different platforms, so I know which books I can get to easily without doing anything. I have my owned TBR books, I have my Kindle TBR books, I have a Mofibo account shelf, which is where I have all of the books that I want to read from that service, and I have Storytel. So I know all of these books are books that I can get to immediately. I also have a shelf that features the majority of the books that I can get from the library. So I guess that's how I keep track of it. Otherwise, I don't have anything else that I write the books down on. 2, is your TBR mostly print or ebook? Definitely ebooks, because although I do have quite a lot of physical books on my TBR, I think I'm up to around 100 books on my physical TBR. I have about 300 or something unread titles on my Kindle, so definitely ebooks are more prominent on my TBR than physical books. Question number 3 is, how do you determine which book to read from your TBR next? I do my TBR unwrappings. I'll leave a link to the first one of those in the card symbol up here. I will also leave a link to my most recent one that I did last week in the description box below, if you want to check those out. So that's a way for me to get to books that I have owned for quite a while, but for some reason keep on passing on. So I just pick out different random books from my shelves and unwrap them, and that's my TBR. And then I have 2 TBR jars, one with green tabs that are for my Mofibo books, and one with yellow tabs that are my Kindle books, so I can pick one of those. And then I'm reading one Stephen King book a month with Michael H. So that's how I pick a TBR currently. Question number 4 is a book that has been on your TBR for the longest, and I'm unsure if this is like a physical TBR or on my TBR on GoodReads. I think on my TBR on GoodReads it's a paranormal book. Yeah, it's Paranormalcy by Kirsten White. I've had this book on my TBR since 2013, and I actually have access to this one on Mofibo, so I would be able to read it. I don't know if I want to read these sort of books much any longer, but sometimes I get into a phase where I really want to read paranormal books, so maybe sometime I'll get to it. Of my physical TBR, oh yeah, that's it, definitely. From a physical TBR, it's it. I actually think it's the one I've had the longest on any TBRs actually, so that definitely worked, because I bought that, I want to say in 2007 or something. I'd already moved out, I think, but it was not long after. And I ended up reading the first chapter and then I put it down, and I haven't picked it up since, and I'm scared of clowns, so. And the front cover of my copy has a very bad picture of a clown on it, so. But I am gonna get to it because I'm reading all of Stephen King's books, so I'm gonna get to it at some point soon. Next question. A book that you recently added to your TBR, and that one would be... The last one I added to my GoodReads TBR is The Hanging Girl by Aileen Cook. I heard about this from Izzy from Binge Readers. She was doing this most anticipated releases for October or September, I'm not sure. And it sounded good. I read 2 books by Eileen Cook, and I've enjoyed both of them, gave them both 4 stars, so I think it would be fun, one that I'll think is pretty cool. Yeah, it's something to do with tarot card readings, and her psychic visions are helping the police find the town's missing golden girl. So I think it sounds pretty cool. Her thrillers are always a little spooky sometimes, I think, and she's good at writing twists that you don't see coming, so yeah, I hope I'll be able to get to that one soon. And question number 6 is a book on your TBR strictly because of its beautiful cover. I don't know if I ever buy books that are only because of the cover, except The Bone Witch. I love that cover, and I wanted to read it anyway because it's about necromancy, and I think that's cool. I haven't read it yet, obviously, but I love that cover, and definitely the cover was also a deciding factor that I wanted that book, so I guess that could be one. Question number 7 is a book on your TBR that you never plan on reading. I don't have any books on my TBR that I don't want to read. I mean, I did get a book that I've been in doubt if I'm gonna be reading it, because I found out when I came home that it had an average rating on GoodReads below 3, and that's seriously low. But I'm not saying that I'm never going to try and at least read the first couple of chapters and see if it's terrible. I bought it like for almost nothing, so I'm not feeling super bad about it. Question number 8 is an unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. Well, there's Artemis by Andy Weir, which is one of my most anticipated releases of this year. I've talked about it a lot. I'm also really anxiously waiting for The Kriegers by Tom Fletcher, because he's releasing his 2nd novel, I think sometimes next week. I think I should be receiving that book around the 12th or the 14th, so that's awesome. Question number 9 is a book on your TBR that's basically everyone read but you. I have multiple books on my TBR that lots of people have read but me. One of them could be Chaos Walking trilogy. I feel like a lot of people have read that one. I recently unwrapped it, so I'm getting ready to read that one. And I also haven't read The Lord of the Rings, which I have on my TBR, and my physical TBR. I'm talking about physical TBRs right now. And The Hobbit as well, but I don't own The Hobbit, so The Lord of the Rings is one of the books that I have that I've never read, that I feel like everyone has read but me. And I want to read it because it's a groundbreaking book in fantasy. So question number 10 is a book on your TBR that everyone recommends to you. I could go with Game of Thrones for this, I think. I don't have it on my physical TBR, but I do have, I've read, like, not Game of Thrones, but Feast for Crows would be that one, because I read the first 3 books in the A Song of Ice and Fire series, and I haven't watched all of the episodes from the TV show. But I sort of want to read it, and everyone keep pestering me about getting to it so I can watch the TV show, and that they can talk about the TV show with me around, so that I don't feel like things are being spoiled and stuff. So I guess that one. And the only reason that I haven't picked up Feast for Crows is because I know Cersei has her own point of view in that one, and I really hate her. But I should just get over myself and just deal with it and listen to it. Question number 11 is a book on your TBR that you're dying to read. Like, a book that I already have. I'm really looking forward to reading Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, the 3rd book in the Mistborn series, because that will wrap up the first trilogy and the story with Ben and Elend. So I'm definitely looking forward to finding out what will happen with them. I'm also really looking forward to reading The Dark Days Pact by Alison Goodman, the 2nd book in the Lady Helen series, because I really enjoyed the first one, and I think that the 2nd one might be a 5-star read for me, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading those. Question number 12, how many books are on your GoodReads TBR shelf? I said before that it's close to 2,000. I just looked at it, and it has 1,814 books. So yeah, close to 2,000 books, and I have really removed, I think I've removed 1,000 books from my TBR shelf over the last year, but I've also had a lot of added to it, so it never really goes very far down, because then I start a new series and I want to read the next ones in that series, you know. So, and final question is, who do you tag? I don't know who has done this tag. I don't know. It's a tag that's been going around for a long time. It's a really old tag, I think. But I'm going to be tagging Shannon from Shannon Riddler, Rhea from Befinkins if she hasn't done this. Those two I'll tag, and hopefully they'll do it. It was a fun tag. It's fun to sort of think through the books, and I think the tag is fun to watch as well, even though I don't watch a ton of tag videos any longer. I don't remember if I said who made this tag originally, but I'll leave the link to the original tag in the description box below, so you can find that. And I'll also leave links to each of the people at Tag's channels down below, so you can check them out as well. This was a really fun tag to do, and I hope you enjoyed it okay. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.